잠시 후 1시 10분부터 2022학년도 대학 수학능력시험 9월 모의평가 3교시 영어 영역 듣기평가 방송을 시작하겠습니다. 수험생 여러분은 편안한 마음으로 방송에 귀를 기울여 주시고 감독 선생님께서는 스피커의 음량을 알맞게 조절해 주십시오. 수험생 여러분은 답안을 작성하기 전에 반드시 답안지 왼쪽 해당欄에 성명, 수험번호 등을 정확하게 기입하고 표기하였는지 확인하시기 바랍니다. 답란에 정답을 표기하기 전에 답안지에 있는 수험생 준수사항을 꼭 확인하십시오. 듣기평가 문제는 1번부터 17번까지입니다. 방송을 잘 듣고 문제지에 있는 5개의 답지 중에서 맞는 답 하나만 골라 답안지에 해당 란에 바르게 표기하십시오. 듣기평가는 타정 없이 시작됩니다. 이제 문제지 표지를 넘기시기 바랍니다. 그러면 지금부터 3교시 영어 영역 듣기 평가를 시작하겠습니다. 1번부터 17번까지는 듣고 답하는 문제입니다. 1번부터 15번까지는 한 번만 들려주고 16번부터 17번까지는 2번 들려줍니다. 방송을 잘 듣고 답을 하시기 바랍니다. 1번. 다음을 듣고 남자가 하는 말의 목적으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Welcome back to the final episode of Tomorrow's Singer. We hope you enjoyed the performances of our 2 finalists. Now is time to pick the winner of our singing competition. Vote now by texting the name of your favorite contestant to the number at the bottom of your TV screen. This is your last chance to help your favorite contestant become a superstar. You can also win exciting prizes just by voting. Remember, voting closes in only 5 minutes. So cast your vote now and decide who'll be tomorrow's singer. We'll be right back after a short commercial break.
(2번) 대화를 듣고 여자의 의견으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Honey, I just saw Amy folding laundry in the living room. Did you ask her to do it?
Well, she said she wanted to help with the housework.
That's fine. But don't you think she's too young to do housework? She's just 6 years old.
Maybe, but I think doing housework helps children improve their self-esteem.
Why do you think so?
I read in a book that when kids participate in housework, they feel like they're more important to the family.
That makes sense.
Besides, children often gain a sense of achievement from completing household tasks.
Oh, and maybe it could help Amy to feel proud of herself too.
Exactly. That's why children who do housework often have higher self-esteem.
You're right. Then let's think about other kinds of housework Amy would enjoy.
Sounds good.
(3번) 대화를 듣고 두 사람의 관계를 가장 잘 나타낸 것을 고르시오.
Hello, Mr. Miller. It's been a while. How's your business?
The restaurant is doing pretty good. Jessica, I'd like to buy some purple flowers.
I'm sorry. We don't have any purple flowers right now. Why are you looking for that specific color?
I need that color to decorate my restaurant. My customer is having a company anniversary party, and its logo is purple.
I see. When do you need the flowers?
This Friday.
Okay. Shall I ask my boss to order purple lilies?
That'd be perfect. I didn't know there were purple lilies.
They're rare and stand for pride and success. They'd be a great fit for this event in your restaurant.
Great to know. And I could put notes about the flowers' meaning on the tables.
Good idea. My boss will call you with the details.
Thanks for all your help.
(4번) 대화를 듣고 그림에서 대화의 내용과 일치하지 않는 것을 고르시오.
Hi, Jane. What are you doing?
Hi, Sam. I'm reading a blog about that book cafe we used to visit.
Oh, I heard that it was recently remodeled.
Right. Take a look at this picture of the first floor. I love the stairs next to the windows.
Yeah, the view from the stairs is amazing.
For sure. Do you remember the square clock on the wall?
Of course. It's been there since we first visited. Oh, there are 2 speakers beside the bookcase now.
Fantastic. I love to listen to music while I read.
That's the best. And look at the stripe pattern cushion on the chair. I love it.
So do I. I actually have the same one at home.
Cool. Hey, check out the lamp on the table.
Yeah, it'll be easier to read now. I really like how the book cafe has been remodeled.
(5번) 대화를 듣고 남자가 할 일로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hi, honey. How was school today?
Fine, Mom, but I spilled some cherry juice on my shirt.
Don't worry. I'll take it to the dry cleaners later.
Thanks. By the way, what are you doing?
I was just about to change the water in the fish tank.
Do you need some help?
No, it's okay. But thanks for asking.
Okay. Be careful with the water heater. You almost broke it last time.
I'm not going to make the same mistake twice. Oh, we need to replace the filter in the tank with a new one.
Really? But we're out of filters. Should I order some online right now?
Great.
Okay, I'll do it. I think they'll arrive in about 2 days.
(6번) 대화를 듣고 여자가 지불할 금액을 고르시오.
Hello, may I help you?
Yes, I need a badminton racket for my son. He's starting lessons next week.
How old is your son?
7. What's a good one?
How about this one? It's only $20 and perfect for children that age.
Okay, I'll take it.
What about rackets for adults in case you want to play with your son?
Oh, that's a great idea.
I recommend these 2. This is $30 and the other is $55. But the $55 racket is much lighter.
I really like the lighter one, but it's a bit expensive.
Well, if you buy the lighter one, I can give you a dozen shuttlecocks worth $10 for free. You'll need shuttlecocks anyway.
That's a good deal. Then I'll get the lighter one.
Okay, so the rackets for you and your son, and of course the free shuttlecocks.
Thank you. Here's my credit card.
7번. 대화를 듣고 남자가 커리어데이 행사 장소를 변경하려는 이유를 고르시오.
Mr. Bresnan, how's the preparation for this month's career day going?
Pretty well, Ms. Potter. This time, a local baker is visiting our school to speak with our students.
It'll be good for our students to learn about what bakers do. The event will be held in the seminar room tomorrow, right?
Well, I think I have to change the place of the event.
Why? Is there another event scheduled in that room?
No, I already checked.
Then is it because of the repair work going on next door?
That's not an issue. It starts after school.
So why do you want to change the place?
Actually, more students signed up than I expected.
Oh, I see. How about using the conference room then? It has more space.
Great idea. I'll go check if it's available and let the students know.
(8번) 대화를 듣고 디지털 퍼블리싱 워크숍에 관해 언급되지 않은 것을 고르시오.
Hey, Charlotte, what's up?
Hi, Chris. I'm looking at information about an online course called Digital Publishing Workshop. How about taking it with me?
Sounds interesting. Tell me more.
The purpose of the workshop is to provide guidelines for publishing digital magazines and ebooks. What do you think?
Actually, I've been dreaming about publishing my own ebooks. But is it okay if I don't have any experience?
Of course. It's targeted at college students who are just starting out.
Great. Then when is the workshop?
It's held for 3 days from October 27th to 29th.
Excellent. Midterm exams will be over by then. Do we need to register?
Yes, we can do it online. There's a link to the registration page on our library's website.
Okay, let's sign up.
(9번) 2021 플레이그라운드 인 더 파크에 관한 다음 내용을 듣고 일치하지 않는 것을 고르시오.
Hello, listeners. Would you like your kids to have a good time in a park away from smartphones and video games? Then there's an exciting event for all of you. Our radio station is hosting the 2021 Playground in the Park. This event will be on Saturday, September 25th from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the Queen's Quarter Park. There are 5 play zones, including giant seesaws, tree houses, and elephant-shaped slides. Hurry and sign up now because only up to 60 kids can participate in this event. There will be food trucks so you can buy a variety of foods at the event site. This is an outdoor event, so the event will be rescheduled if it rains. Visit our website for more information.
(10번) 다음 표를 보면서 대화를 듣고 여자가 구매할 블루투스 이어폰을 고르시오.
Welcome to Aiden's Electronics. What can I do for you?
Hi, I'm looking for Bluetooth earphones.
Okay. These are the 5 models we carry. Do you have any particular brand in mind?
No, but I want earphones with a battery that lasts at least 3 hours. It takes me more than 2 hours to go to work.
All right. Are you interested in wireless charging?
Yes, it'd be nice to charge my earphones without connecting to a charging cable.
Got it. What about the price?
I definitely don't want to spend more than $100.
No problem. Then you are down to these two. This model comes with a silicone case cover, and that one comes with a leather case cover.
Well, I don't like the feel of the silicone. It feels weird.
Then this is the model for you.
Perfect. I'll take it.
(11번) 대화를 듣고 여자의 마지막 말에 대한 남자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Andy, it's hard to get together for our biology group project. All our group members seem busy.
I know. Why don't we make an online group chat room? Then we can communicate easily without face-to-face meetings.
That's a wonderful idea. Could you do it for us?
(12번) 대화를 듣고 남자의 마지막 말에 대한 여자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
I'm excited to go on this trip. Honey, did you fasten your seatbelt?
Yes. Oh, wait. I'm not sure if I turned off the lights in the living room when I left the house.
Don't worry, I turned them off. And I checked all the other rooms too.
(13번) 대화를 듣고 여자의 마지막 말에 대한 남자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Hi, Uncle James. I'm back from the cycling camp.
Hey, Clara, how was it?
It was great. My cycling improved a lot. I want to be a national cycling champion just like you.
I know you will. You're participating in the National Youth Cycling Competition next month, right?
Yeah, but I'm a little bit nervous because it's my first national competition.
I felt the same way, but once you start racing, you'll forget about being nervous.
I hope so. I really want to get first place.
Well, you did set the record at the city competition this year.
That's true. And I've trained really hard all year.
See? I know you're ready.
Thank you. I hope all my hard work pays off. Wish me luck.
(14번) 대화를 듣고 남자의 마지막 말에 대한 여자의 응답으로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Ashton Science Museum. How can I help you?
Hi, I'm planning a field trip for my students, and I was wondering if your museum had any programs for high school students.
Yes, we have one. It's named Teen Science Adventure. When is the field trip?
It's October 14th. I'm bringing about 50 students. Is it available that day?
Let me check. It's available in the afternoon.
Perfect. Can you briefly explain the program?
Sure. It includes workshops, hands-on activities, and AI robot demonstrations.
Amazing.
And the highlight of this program is the VR escape room where students get to solve virtual challenges using scientific knowledge.
It sounds fun and educational. My students would love that.
Would you like to make a reservation then?
It'd be nice if you could send me more information today so I can discuss it with my principal.
15번. 다음 상황 설명을 듣고 매건이 필립에게 할 말로 가장 적절한 것을 고르시오.
Philip goes to a bookstore to buy a recently published book titled The Psychology of Everyday Affairs. While Philip is looking for the book, he happens to see an advertisement poster on the wall. It says that if people sign up for a membership, they can get a 10% discount on books. At the counter, he meets Megan, who works at the bookstore. He tells her that he wants to become a bookstore member to get a discount on the book. However, Megan knows that the membership discount is only for books that were published more than a year ago. Even though Megan doesn't want to disappoint Philip, she has to tell him that he cannot get the discount on the book he wants to buy. In this situation, what would Megan most likely say to Philip?
(16번부터 17번까지는 2번 들려줍니다. 16번과 17번. 다음을 듣고 물음에 답하시오.
Hello, students. I'm sure you've encountered some wild animals in cities. Let's look at some reasons that wild animals have done well and their populations have grown in cities. First, pigeons were rare in cities like Paris, but now you can easily find them. Urban expansion reduced the number of animals hunting them, and food waste in cities has been a great food source for them. And while London is not by the sea, it has many seagulls. This is because nesting on the roofs of buildings protects their chicks from danger. Next, Delhi is home to about 30,000 monkeys. Experts say that monkeys' high intelligence and comfort with humans let them flourish in the city. Lastly, in the 19th century, there was a small population of squirrels in New York City. Squirrels were seen as public pets, so the city planted nut-bearing trees as their food source. This increased their population in the city. Let's watch a video about these animals' city lives.
다시 한번 듣겠습니다.
Hello, students. I'm sure you've encountered some wild animals in cities. Let's look at some reasons that wild animals have done well and their populations have grown in cities. First, pigeons were rare in cities like Paris, but now you can easily find them. Urban expansion reduced the number of animals hunting them, and food waste in cities has been a great food source for them. And while London is not by the sea, it has many seagulls. This is because nesting on the roofs of buildings protects their chicks from danger. Next, Delhi is home to about 30,000 monkeys. Experts say that monkeys' high intelligence and comfort with humans let them flourish in the city. Lastly, in the 19th century, there was a small population of squirrels in New York City. Squirrels were seen as public pets, so the city planted nut-bearing trees as their food source. This increased their population in the city. Let's watch a video about these animals' city lives.
16번. 여자가 하는 말의 주제로 가장 적절한 것은? (17번) 언급된 도시가 아닌 것은? 이제 듣기 문제가 끝났습니다. 18번부터는 문제지의 지시에 따라 답을 하시기 바랍니다.
27. 2021 were car drawing contest for kids theme. Family, does your child love cars? Take this opportunity for your child to think about what they love and draw it. They will definitely enjoy and learn from this contest. Details: 10 entries are chosen, and each is awarded a $50 gift certificate. Drawing skills are not considered in judging. Submission: take a photo of your child's drawing, visit our website, www.workcar4kids.com, and upload the photo by October 3. Note: the drawing should contain your family and a car. Participants must be 3 to 7 years old. Please visit our website to learn more. 28. Mary High School Foreign Language Program. Would you like to learn about another culture? Learning a new language is the best way to do it. Please come and enjoy our new foreign language classes. Languages: Arabic, French, Spanish. A student can choose only one. Dates and times: September 13th, 2021 to October 29th, 2021, Monday to Friday, 4 p.m., 6 to 00 p.m. Registration, available from September 1st to September 5th on our website, www.maryhighs.edu. Tuition fee, $50. Full payment is required when registering. Refund policy: if you cancel on or before September 5th, your payment will be refunded. For more information about the classes, feel free to contact us at 215-8393 to 6047 or email us at info@maryhighs.edu. 26. Henry Moore, 1898 to 1986, one of the most significant British artists of the 20th century, was the seventh child of a coal miner. Henry Moore showed a talent for art from early on in school. After World War I, during which he volunteered for army service, Moore began to study sculpture at the Leeds School of Art. Then, he entered the Royal College of Art in London and earned his degree there. His sculptures, known around the world, present the forms of the body in a unique way. One of his artistic themes was Mother and Child, as shown in Madonna and Child at St. Matthew's Church in Northampton. He achieved financial success from his hard work and established the Henry Moore Foundation to support education and promotion of the arts. (25) The table above shows 7 U.S. states ranked by the number of workers added in the solar industry between 2015 and 2020, and provides information on the corresponding growth percentage in each state. During this period, Florida, which ranked first with regard to the number of workers added, exhibited 71% growth. The number of workers added in Utah was more than twice the number of workers added in Minnesota. Regarding Texas and Virginia, each state showed less than 50% growth. New York added more than 1,900 workers, displaying 24% growth. Among these 7 states, Pennsylvania added the lowest number of workers during this period. (18) Dear Mr. Bernstein, my name is Thomas Cobb, the Marketing Director of Calvary Hospital. Our hospital is planning to hold a charity concert on September 18th in the main hall of our hospital. We expect it to be helpful in raising money to cover the medical costs of those in need. To make the concert more special, we want to invite you for the opening of the concert. Your reputation as a pianist is well known, and everyone will be very happy to see your performance. Beautiful piano melodies will help create an enjoyable experience for the audience. We look forward to your positive reply. Sincerely, Thomas A. Cobb. (19) As he stepped onto the basketball court, David suddenly thought of the day he had gotten injured last season and froze. He was not sure if he could play as well as before the injury. A serious wrist injury had caused him to miss the rest of the season. Remembering the surgery, he said to himself, "I thought my basketball career was completely over." However, upon hearing his fans' wild cheers, he felt his body coming alive and thought, "For sure, my fans, friends, and family are looking forward to watching me play today." As soon as the game started, he was filled with energy. The first 5 shots he attempted went in the basket. "I'm back. I got this," he shouted. 1. Disappointed. Unhappy. 2. Excited. Indifferent. 3. Anxious. Confident. 4. Impatient. Calm. 5. Eager. Ashamed. 20. We live in a time when everyone seems to be looking for quick and sure solutions. Computer companies have even begun to advertise ways in which computers can replace parents. They are too late. Television has already done that. Seriously, however, in every branch of education, including moral education, we make a mistake when we suppose that a particular batch of content or a particular teaching method or a particular configuration of students and space will accomplish our ends. The answer is both harder and simpler. We, parents and teachers, have to live with our children, talk to them, listen to them, enjoy their company, and show them by what we do and how we talk that it is possible to live appreciatively or, at least, non-violently with most other people. Historically, the professions and society have engaged in a negotiating process intended to define the terms of their relationship. At the heart of this process is the tension between the profession's pursuit of autonomy and the public's demand for accountability. Society's granting of power and privilege to the professions is premised on their willingness and ability to contribute to social well-being and to conduct their affairs in a manner consistent with broader social values. It has long been recognized that the expertise and privileged position of professionals confer authority and power that could readily be used to advance their own interests at the expense of those they serve. As Edmund Burke observed 2 centuries ago, men are qualified for civil liberty in exact proportion to their disposition to put moral chains upon their own appetites. Autonomy has never been a one-way street and is never granted absolutely and irreversibly. In Kant's view, geometrical shapes are too perfect to induce an aesthetic experience. Insofar as they agree with the underlying concept or idea, thus possessing the precision that the ancient Greeks sought and celebrated, geometrical shapes can be grasped, but they do not give rise to emotion, and, most importantly, they do not move the imagination to free and new, mental, lengths. Forms or phenomena, on the contrary, that possess a degree of immeasurability, or that do not appear constrained, stimulate the human imagination, hence their ability to induce a sublime aesthetic experience. The pleasure associated with experiencing immeasurable objects or indefinable or formless objects can be defined as enjoying one's own emotional and mental activity. Namely, the pleasure consists of being challenged and struggling to understand and decode the phenomenon present to view. Furthermore, part of the pleasure comes from having one's comfort zone, momentarily, violated. 1. Diversity of aesthetic experiences in different eras. 2. Inherent beauty in geometrically perfect shapes. 3. Concepts of imperfection in modern aesthetics. 4. Natural inclination towards aesthetic precision. 5. Aesthetic pleasure from things unconstrained. The world has become a nation of laws and governance that has introduced a system of public administration and management to keep order. With this administrative management system, urban institutions of government have evolved to offer increasing levels of services to their citizenry, provided through a taxation process and/or fee for services, e.g., police and fire, street maintenance, utilities, waste management, etc. Frequently this has displaced citizen involvement. Money for services is not a replacement for citizen responsibility and public participation. Responsibility of the citizen is slowly being supplanted by government being the substitute provider. Consequentially, there is a philosophical and social change in attitude and sense of responsibility of our urban-based society to become involved. The sense of community and associated responsibility of all citizens to be active participants is therefore diminishing. Governmental substitution for citizen duty and involvement can have serious implications. This impedes the nations of the world to be responsive to natural and man-made disasters as part of global preparedness. 1. A sound citizen responsibility in a sound government. 2. Always better than nothing. The The roles of modern government. 3. Decreased citizen involvement, a cost of governmental services. 4. Why does global citizenship matter in contemporary society? 5. How to maximize public benefits of urban-based society. (41 to 42). In studies examining the effectiveness of vitamin C, researchers typically divide the subjects into two groups. One group, the experimental group, receives a vitamin C supplement, and the other, the control group, does not. Researchers observe both groups to determine whether one group has fewer or shorter colds than the other. The following discussion describes some of the pitfalls inherent in an experiment of this kind and ways to avoid them. In sorting subjects into two groups, researchers must ensure that each person has an equal chance of being assigned to either the experimental group or the control group. This is accomplished by randomization, that is, the subjects are chosen randomly from the same population by flipping a coin or some other method involving chance. Randomization helps to ensure that results reflect the treatment and not factors that might influence the grouping of subjects. Importantly, the two groups of people must be similar and must have the same track record with respect to colds to rule out the possibility that observed differences in the rate, severity, or duration of colds might have occurred anyway. If, for example, the control group would normally catch twice as many colds as the experimental group, then the findings prove nothing. In experiments involving a nutrient, the diets of both groups must also be different, especially with respect to the nutrient being studied. If those in the experimental group were receiving less vitamin C from their usual diet, then any effects of the supplement may not be apparent. 1. Perfect planning and faulty results, a sad reality in research. 2. Don't let irrelevant factors influence the results. 3. Protect human subjects involved in experimental research. 4. What nutrients could better defend against colds? 5. In-depth analysis of nutrition, a key player for human health. (43 through 45). Part A. When Sally came back home from her photography class, she could hear Katie moving around, chopping things on a wooden cutting board. Wondering what her roommate was doing, she ran to the kitchen. Sally watched Katie cooking something that looked delicious. But Katie didn't notice her because she was too focused on preparing for her cooking test the next day. She was trying to remember what her professor had said in class that day. Part B. Katie, surprised by her roommate's words, turned her head to Sally and sighed, "I don't know. This is really hard." Stirring her sauce for pasta, Katie continued, "Professor Brown said that visual aspects make up a key part of a meal. My recipe seems good, but I can't think of any ways to alter the feeling of the final dish." Visibly frustrated, she was just about to throw away all of her hard work and start again, when Sally suddenly stopped her. Part C. Wait. You don't have to start over. You just need to add some color to the plate. Being curious, Katie asked, "How can I do that?" Sally took out a container of vegetables from the refrigerator and replied, "How about making colored pasta to go with your sauce?" Smiling, she added, "It's not that hard, and all you need are brightly colored vegetables to make your pasta green, orange, or even purple." Katie smiled, knowing that now she could make her pasta with beautiful colors like a photographer. Part D. In that class, Professor Brown said, "You have to present your food properly, considering every stage of the dining experience. Imagine you are a photographer." Recalling what the professor had mentioned, Katie said to herself, "We need to see our ingredients as colors that make up a picture." Sally could clearly see that Katie was having a hard time preparing for her cooking test. Trying to make her feel better, Sally kindly asked, "Is there anything I can do to help?" 21. Flicking the collaboration light switch is something that leaders are uniquely positioned to do, because several obstacles stand in the way of people voluntarily working alone. For one thing, the fear of being left out of the loop can keep them glued to their enterprise social media. Individuals don't want to be or appear to be isolated. For another, knowing what their teammates are doing provides a sense of comfort and security, because people can adjust their own behavior to be in harmony with the group. It's risky to go off on their own to try something new that will probably not be successful right from the start. But even though it feels reassuring for individuals to be hyper-connected, it's better for the organization if they periodically go off and think for themselves and generate diverse if not quite mature ideas. Thus, it becomes the leader's job to create conditions that are good for the whole by enforcing intermittent interaction even when people wouldn't choose it for themselves, without making it seem like a punishment. 1. Breaking physical barriers and group norms that prohibit cooperation. 2. Having people stop working together and start working individually. 3. Encouraging people to devote more time to online collaboration. 4. Shaping environments where higher productivity is required. 5. Requiring workers to focus their attention on group projects. (29) Accepting whatever others are communicating only pays off if their interests correspond to ours. I think cells in a body, bees in a beehive. As far as communication between humans is concerned, such commonality of interests is rarely achieved. Even a pregnant mother has reasons to mistrust the chemical signals sent by her fetus. Fortunately, there are ways of making communication work even in the most adversarial of relationships. A prey can convince a predator not to chase it. But for such communication to occur, there must be strong guarantees which those who receive the signal will be better off believing it. The messages have to be kept, on the whole, honest. In the case of humans, honesty is maintained by a set of cognitive mechanisms that evaluate communicated information. These mechanisms allow us to accept most beneficial messages, to be open, or while rejecting most harmful messages, to be vigilant. (30) In economic systems, what takes place in one sector has impacts on another. Demand for a good or service in one sector is derived from another. For instance, a consumer buying a good in a store will likely trigger the replacement of this product, which will generate demands for activities such as manufacturing, resource extraction, and, of course, transport. What is different about transport is that it cannot exist alone and a movement cannot be stored. An unsold product can remain on the shelf of a store until bought, often with discount incentives, but an unsold seat on a flight or unused cargo capacity in the same flight remains unsold and cannot be brought back as additional capacity later. In this case, an opportunity has been seized, since the amount of transport being offered has exceeded the demand for it. The derived demand of transportation is often very difficult to reconcile with an equivalent supply, and actually transport companies would prefer to have some additional capacity to accommodate unforeseen demand, often at much higher prices. (35) A variety of theoretical perspectives provide insight into immigration. Economics, which assumes that actors engage in utility maximization, represents one framework. From this perspective, it is assumed that individuals are rational actors, i.e., that they make migration decisions based on their assessment of the costs as well as benefits of remaining in a given area versus the costs and benefits of leaving. The benefits may include but are not limited to short-term and long-term monetary gains, safety, and greater freedom of cultural expression. People with greater financial benefits tend to use their money to show off their social status by purchasing luxurious items. Individual costs include but are not limited to the expense of travel, uncertainty of living in a foreign land, difficulty of adapting to a different language, uncertainty about a different culture, and the great concern about living in a new land. Psychic costs associated with separation from family, friends, and the fear of the unknown also should be taken into account in cost-benefit assessments. (40) The computer has, to a considerable extent, solved the problem of acquiring, preserving, and retrieving information. Data can be stored in effectively unlimited quantities and in manageable form. The computer makes available a range of data unattainable in the age of books. It packages it effectively. Style is no longer needed to make it accessible, nor is memorization. In dealing with a single decision separated from its context, the computer supplies tools unimaginable even a decade ago. But it also diminishes perspective. Because information is so accessible and communication instantaneous, there is a diminution of focus on its significance, or even on the definition of what is significant. This dynamic may encourage policymakers to wait for an issue to arise rather than anticipate it, and to regard moments of decision as a series of isolated events rather than part of a historical continuum. When this happens, manipulation of information replaces reflection as the principal policy tool. Although the computer is clearly at handling information in a decontextualized way, it interferes with our making judgments related to the broader context, as can be seen in policymaking processes. 1. Competent, comprehensive. 2. Dominant, biased. 3. Imperfect, informed. 4. Impressive, legal. 5. Inefficient, timely. (36) Green products involve, in many cases, higher ingredient costs than those of mainstream products. They'd rather put money and time into known, profitable, high-volume products that serve populous customer segments than into risky, less profitable, low-volume products that may serve current non-customers. Given that choice, these companies may choose to leave the green segment of the market to small niche competitors. Even if the green product succeeds, it may cannibalize the company's higher-profit mainstream offerings. Given such downsides, companies serving mainstream consumers with successful mainstream products face what seems like an obvious investment decision. Furthermore, the restrictive ingredient lists and design criteria that are typical of such products may make green products inferior to mainstream products on core performance dimensions, e.g., less effective cleansers. In turn, the higher costs and lower performance of some products attract only a small portion of the customer base, leading to lower economies of scale in procurement, manufacturing, and distribution. 37. Recently, a number of commercial ventures have been launched that offer social robots as personal home assistants, perhaps eventually to rival existing smart home assistants. They might be motorized and can track the user around the room, giving the impression of being aware of the people in the environment. Although personal robotic assistants provide services similar to those of smart home assistants, their social presence offers an opportunity that is unique to social robots. Personal robotic assistants are devices that have no physical manipulation or locomotion capabilities. Instead, they have a distinct social presence and have visual features suggestive of their ability to interact socially, such as eyes, ears, or a mouth. For instance, in addition to playing music, a social personal assistant robot would express its engagement with the music so that users would feel like they are listening to the music together with the robot. These robots can be used as surveillance devices, act as communicative intermediates, engage in richer games, tell stories, or be used to provide encouragement or incentives. It was not until relatively recent times that scientists came to understand the relationships between the structural elements of materials and their properties. The earliest humans had access to only a very limited number of materials, those that occur naturally: stone, wood, clay, skins, and so on. With time, they discovered techniques for producing materials that had properties superior to those of the natural ones. These new materials included pottery and various metals. Furthermore, it was discovered that the properties of a material could be altered by heat treatments and by the addition of other substances. At this point, materials utilization was totally a selection process that involved deciding from a given, rather limited set of materials, the one best suited for an application based on its characteristics. This knowledge, acquired over approximately the past 100 years, has empowered them to fashion, to a large degree, the characteristics of materials. Thus, tens of thousands of different materials have evolved with rather specialized characteristics that meet the needs of our modern and complex society, including metals, plastics, glasses, and fibers. Personal stories connect with larger narratives to generate new identities. The growing complexity of the social dynamics determining food choices makes the job of marketers and advertisers increasingly more difficult. In the past, mass production allowed for accessibility and affordability of products, as well as their wide distribution, and was accepted as a sign of progress. Nowadays it is increasingly replaced by the fragmentation of consumers among smaller and smaller segments that are supposed to reflect personal preferences. Everybody feels different and special and expects products serving his or her inclinations. In reality, these supposedly individual preferences end up overlapping with emerging, temporary, always changing, almost tribal formations solidifying around cultural sensibilities, social identifications, political sensibilities, and dietary and health concerns. These consumer communities go beyond national boundaries, feeding on global and widely shared repositories of ideas, images, and practices. 31. When examining the archaeological record of human culture, one has to consider that it is vastly. Many aspects of human culture have what archaeologists describe as low archaeological visibility, meaning they are difficult to identify archaeologically. Archaeologists tend to focus on tangible, or material, aspects of culture, things that can be handled and photographed, such as tools, food, and structures. Reconstructing intangible aspects of culture is more difficult, requiring that one draw more inferences from the tangible. It is relatively easy, for example, for archaeologists to identify and draw inferences about technology and diet from stone tools and food remains. Using the same kinds of physical remains to draw inferences about social systems and what people were thinking about is more difficult. Archaeologists do it, but there are necessarily more inferences involved in getting from physical remains recognized as trash to making interpretations about belief systems. 1. Outdated. 2. Factual. 3. Incomplete. 4. Organized. 5. Detailed. (32) Even as mundane a behavior as watching TV may be a way for some people to test this idea. Sofia Moskalenko and Stephen Heine gave participants false feedback about their test performance, and then seated each one in front of a TV set to watch a video as the next part of the study. When the video came on, showing nature scenes with a musical soundtrack, the experimenter exclaimed that this was the wrong video and went supposedly to get the correct one, leaving the participant alone as the video played. The participants who had received failure feedback watched the video much longer than those who thought they had succeeded. The researchers concluded that distraction through television viewing can effectively relieve the discomfort associated with painful failures or mismatches between the self and self-guides. In contrast, successful participants had little wish to be distracted from their self-related thoughts. 1. Ignore uncomfortable comments from their close peers. 2. Escape painful self-awareness through distraction. 3. Receive constructive feedback from the media. 4. Refocus their divided attention to a given task. 5. Engage themselves in intense self-reflection. (33) It is important to recognize the interdependence between individual, culturally formed
제3교시
actions and the state of
종료
cultural integration.
10분전입니다.
People work within the forms provided by the cultural patterns that they have internalized, however contradictory these may be. Ideas are worked out as logical implications or consequences of other accepted ideas, and it is in this way that cultural innovations and discoveries are possible. New ideas are discovered through logical reasoning, but such discoveries are inherent in and integral to the conceptual system and are made possible only because of the acceptance of its premises. For example, the discoveries of new prime numbers are real consequences of the particular number system employed. Thus, cultural ideas show advances and developments because they The cumulative work of many individuals produces a corpus of knowledge within which certain discoveries become possible or more likely. Such discoveries are ripe and could not have occurred earlier and are also likely to be made simultaneously by numbers of individuals. 1. Are outgrowths of previous ideas. 2. Stem from abstract reasoning ability. 3. Form the basis of cultural universalism. 4. Emerge between people of the same age. 5. Promote individuals' innovative thinking. (34) Enabling animals to is an almost universal function of learning. Most animals innately avoid objects they have not previously encountered. Unfamiliar objects may be dangerous. Treating them with caution has survival value. If persisted in, however, such careful behavior could interfere with feeding and other necessary activities to the extent that the benefit of caution would be lost. A turtle that withdraws into its shell at every puff of wind or whenever a cloud casts a shadow would never win races, not even with a lazy rabbit. To overcome this problem, almost all animals habituate to safe stimuli that occur frequently. Confronted by a strange object, an inexperienced animal may freeze or attempt to hide, but if nothing unpleasant happens, sooner or later it will continue its activity. The possibility also exists that an unfamiliar object may be useful, so if it poses no immediate threat, a closer inspection may be worthwhile. 1. Weigh the benefits of treating familiar things with care. 2. Plan escape routes after predicting possible attacks. 3. Overcome repeated feeding failures for survival. 4. Operate in the presence of harmless stimuli. 5. Monitor the surrounding area regularly.
제3교시 종려령입니다. 수험생은 필기도구를 놓고 답안지는 뒤집어서 오른쪽에, 문제지는 표지를 덮어서 왼쪽에 각각 놓고 조용히 기다리십시오. 제2감독관께서는 문제지와 답안지를 수험 번호 순으로 회수하여 주시고 수량을 확인하여 주십시오.